Welcome to Tarot Tuesday for the week of April 7th. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. Take what resonates, and if this reading doesn't speak to you, go check out your other two signs videos for deeper messages. So Gemini, we are here in Aries season, and we are about to meet a stellium by the end of this week. We have Mars, its ruling planet, joining Aries on the 9th. So that is a time where really we're gonna get into this action-oriented moment. This is a time for movement on your biggest dreams, but it's also, sometimes swift, blind action is what we are not trying to promote. We want to do our movements with intention. That is the hope for this moment. And then we also have on the 14th, so next time we meet, we're going to have Mercury moving into Aries as well. So the true stellium happens when these inner planets are aligned to a sign. So yeah, we'll have the Sun, Mars, and Mercury by the end of this week. So prepare for that. And yeah, so to meet this week, I'm using the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck so that we really tap into our natural response system. All right, so let's see what we got going on for Gemini. Wow. Raccoon, oh my goodness. Which would make so much sense for you because this is about your response is done with some cunning. The raccoons are sneaky and they are, they're scavengers, so they really have to rely on figuring out where their sources are and how to get them from whatever they're getting them. So yeah, you see them at night scurrying in trash and things. So there's that. Also, there's this awareness of, them being nocturnal. Gemini, you might be more naturally inclined to be night owls, but as well, you just want to make sure that you are monitoring your sleep levels. Sleep is a big affector of our cognition. So if you are not well rested, this mental ability of the raccoon is not going to be there for you. And just with the Mercury moving into Mars as well, it goes for your words too. So if you need to, there is a situation in, say, work or communications with people in your life, and you need to be you're on point cognitively to have these talks, you want to make sure that you're well rested. So if you are not getting the night sleep, do take naps. Do be aware of where you need rest. Scorpion, because here's the fire energy. That's what the symbol is on top. So when the scorpion is backed into a corner, that is when it strikes. And so Gemini, that would be a thing, is be aware of if you were going into, say, a meeting and you know that there's somebody there that is a good trigger for you, just go in prepared as you can be, triple prepared for a situation. Or say it is, you're going into a serious conversation with a loved one. Be prepared for what will come up, because you want to come from a place of understanding, and you also want to come from a place of, you need to be prepared mentally for an argument. If you have backup support that you need, do your research beforehand. That even goes into just regular conversations. Sometimes you need to be prepared. Okay, good job. Last card. Gazelle. Again, gazelle. So this is an animal type of antelope where these animals really don't do good in captivity. They don't like to be boxed in. So your animals, as it progressed, got a little bit more cagey, and need for freedom is there. So I would say, Gemini, if you can avoid, avoid people who are going to trigger that Scorpion to come out this week. That would be the best thing. But if not, the gazelle is also, the gazelle and the raccoons, they're pack animals, or herd animals. So you see them in groups. So there is strength for you, Gemini, to be in and around like-minded people. You have to choose those tribes though. So Gemini this week, and they're both fire. So you've got two fire elements. Air, us as air signs fuel fire, so we're fueling this Aries season. But yeah, hopefully do it by being one of the team versus that Scorpion ready to strike at all times. That's what the animals have for you this week, but I am going to pull a card from the Land Sky Oracle deck. And this deck was designed by a yogi, so it has aspects of this more moving meditation, as Aries is a bit more action-oriented sign. Yeah. Matista, I can't pronounce it, but it's fish pose. I love fish pose. Fish pose is technically a back bend where you are lying, I cannot do it here, but you are lying on your back, and you tend to have your legs either, you can put your feet on the ground, you can put the soles of your feet together so that you're, so say if these are your feet, you put the soles of your feet together so that your knees kind of splay out like that. You can put them in a cross-legged variation or a lotus pose with the feet on top of the crease of your hips. And then the back bend happens because you're laying on your back, and the goal is to get the crown of your head to touch the floor. Is it? I don't know. It depends on how good your back bends are, because you're probably going to land more somewhere here. But yeah, the goal is this, so that you're getting a little back bend between your head and your hips, little back bend, little gap that you want to make. And the goal of back bends is to find flexibility in past situations. The goal of back bends is really to release past pains, being more flexible about releasing that stuff. But because it is a fish pose, it's also about being able to flow with life where you are now. Being able to flow with life as it is now, as you have released past pains, past problems. And so here I'm going to read from the book. It says to practice having a soft smile on your face throughout the day. And yet again, we don't promote toxic positivity here, but you do also have to be an engine of that happiness. So to a degree, it still has to come from you. The other thing, stress is what happens when your expectations don't match reality. So again, Gemini, mental gymnastics, you guys are amazing at it, but also you have to be present with what is, where people are. So meet people where they are, be in your group of like-minded people, because if you don't, you might end up in a Scorpion mode. And it could even just be with your perceptions of what's happening around you. Like, would I love for things to be more peaceful in and around me all the time? Yes, of course, but the reality is sometimes that is not where we are today, and you just have to be where you are now. An affirmation for you. I go with the flow of life. I can even put up sails to harness the wind. Yeah, that is your message for this week, Gemini. I do hope that you find this ability to move with where the energy is versus trying to force a narrative that isn't. And I'll see you next week. Bye.